Where I guess a personal lesson learned is don't get too deeply involved in right to information, otherwise you'll be writing applications in your dreams as well. Or you might be just lecturing on various provisions of the law in front of officers and banging your head against the resistance. In fact, the single biggest lesson that we've learned is we had some inkling of how much resistance there might be, but when we started facing it, when the law began to be implemented, even just 3 days ago, before coming here, I was doing a training program with some officers, and after 3.5 years, among some of the women officers, there is so much resistance. I was quite surprised, and the resistance is something that I still do not know how any amount of training will not help change a mindset. That's something that we are very clear about. The mindset change has to come from within. So I don't know if behavior change, communication techniques is something that we've got to use. These are perfectly normal people who go back and have a decent meal at night with their families. But when they sit on their chairs as officers, the kinds of difficulties that they create for somebody else who's just another fellow citizen, that's something that we still do not know it. I can't call it a lesson learned, but how do we tackle this? That's something that we're still struggling with. The other important lesson learned, obviously, is that when we drafted the law in India, my organization, I was not individually part of it, but my organization was part of it. Later on during the lobbying process, I got in, and we thought that we knew everything about the Right to Information Act. It is only in the first workshop when we sat with officers to discuss the implementation of the provisions in the absence of any instructions on how to implement each provision, we realized, oh my God, what is this? It just showed us that we know practically very little about how government itself operates from within. The simplest example that I would give you is, there is a provision in the law which says that if information is not given within the time limit, then it should be given free of cost. What would happen in a situation if the fees that should be paid, or what we call the charges for obtaining the information, if they have been paid, and then the information comes in late, then obviously the individual is entitled to a refund of fee. What is the procedure for refunding? Because in government, we compare money given to government to a corpse that goes to a cemetery. Both don't come back. Okay. So then we had to sit and look at the financial rules and then point out that the procedure for refunding is already given there. So if you have been refunding, this is not for the first time that you have to think about refunding money to people. Procedures are already there. So a lot of background work about how administrative processes are fashioned, what is there in the law, what is in actual practice, that is something that we were really unprepared for in the beginning, and that's something that we've learned on the job. The other thing, a little bit of soul searching is required. I don't know what the situation is in your countries, but the moment the Right to Information Act in India became operational, we had this mushrooming of specialist NGOs willing to train government officers on right to information. And the only training I think that they gave them was just reading the provisions of the Act one after the other, and then placing a lot of emphasis on how to not give information. Because that is, even I have been faced with these requests in a training workshop. Officers say, just tell us 3 things, you forget the history, philosophy, Indian jurisprudence about how right to information is a fundamental right, forget all that, just tell us 3 things. How do we make use of exemptions to deny access? How do we save our skins from penalty? And then the third thing is, what is the protection that we have and what is the incentive that we have for implementing this law? Tell us these 3 things, and then we'll end the workshop. So that is the levels of difficulty that we've had to handle. And NGOs certainly, if they haven't developed their specialization, they can in right to information issues, they can really spoil the show. And that's one advice, that if you are not good at training, then please don't get involved in training. Start using the law. No harm at all. Use the law. If you don't even want to use the law, no harm there either. At least teach it to NGOs. Say that there is something, teach it to the people at the community level. Just tell them that there's a law of this kind, and then you give them the text of the law, let them try and understand it for themselves. If you cannot make simpler public education, pamphlets or books for them. So that's certainly possible. I think I left out the question which Lale raised earlier about low-cost technology options. Obviously, in countries which are resource poor, we have to find ways and means of ensuring that there is some openness, there is some transparency in the functioning of administration, and if you cannot hire internet internet. You cannot hire the services of information technology, service provider, or let's say a system analyst. The best way to do it is the time-honored way of sitting around, a table and discussing things, ensuring that people know about those meetings in advance, which means you use the radio to advertise, you use the newspapers to advertise as much as possible. And then the simplest thing is this: if you know what records you do not want to give because they are a threat to national security, keep them aside until an FOI law comes in, when that will be challenged. But all the other records, just declare openly that once a month or twice a month, on a specific day, at this particular hour, anybody can come in, make a request, either on paper or just a verbal request, and we'll show you the records. If you want a photocopy of that, if there's a photocopier machine, you provide them. If not, they can sit down and take notes and go away. This is a system that has worked in India, where in the public distribution system, an order was issued by the Delhi government to say that every second Saturday of the month, the records relating to public distribution will be thrown open to people to come and inspect. And if they wanted copies, they would get photocopies. It's not something that has worked across India all over, but we know that there's a system that can work. But then again, just like a horribly worded FOI law can be implemented fantastically if people who are sitting there to implement it have the right intentions. Similarly, these kinds of things also require the right political motivation and the right mindset to ensure that there is some transparency or the other. You want to keep your fist closed. We have this advocacy game in my organization where we have two people sitting together and we say, okay, fine, one person holds the fist, the other person has a job to get it open in 1 minute. And you see people struggling with them, trying to put their fingers in and prizing it out and all that. And then some people very decently say, I'm requesting you kindly open your fist. So it's a question of what techniques will work in a situation to ensure that there is greater transparency. Thank you.
The truth is, I could have asked many more questions, but time is limited. I would like to thank you for this very inspiring panel. I think the gender balance may have been not perfect, but the quality was excellent.